Afternoon. Hopefully I'm coming through loud and clear and you can hear me okay. I hope you're all having a great, I don't even know what day of the week it is, Wednesday? Hope you're having a great Wednesday, everybody, and the first half of the week has done you well. In this Facebook Live, quick 10-15 minute video, what I'm going to do is share with you 3 top tips. So 3 steps to basically achieving, well, not just achieving, but setting goals and targets. So this morning, I had the very, very fortunate experience and opportunity to shave my chest and my body and my arms and my armpits for the first time. So having been training for the best part of a year, how are we doing, guys? Loads of people on the call. Frank, Steve, Darren R, Mark, Yogesh, Anna, great to see you all. I had the very fortunate experience this morning of pretty much shaving all my body, and at 4 o'clock this afternoon I have a spray tan booked, and then I'm off to Watford in the morning to do my photo shoot after 14 weeks of body transformation, training, very strict diet, between 1,000 and 2,000 calorie deficit a day, lots of weightlifting, doing bodybuilding ready for a photo shoot, and the net result was I got to shave my armpits, so very exciting. For those of you that want to shave your armpits or break world records or go out and set some goals, as I was getting ready this morning, figuring out how to shave your armpit, because that is not the easiest thing, genuinely not the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. Is the first time I've done it though. Afternoon, Dan. What I was doing was I was thinking about how do people consistently achieve their goals, because I personally have got a good track record with achieving my goals. I have friends, property entrepreneur clients, property entrepreneur board members that are also good at achieving goals. And I started to break down what is actually required to achieve goals, because as you'll be aware, some people are very good at achieving goals. Some people say they're going to do something, they go and do it, they seem to be consistent high achievers, they deliver, they execute, and they're consistently getting bigger and better and faster and more effective. And then there's other people who talk a good game, or maybe even don't talk a good game, say they're going to do something, they don't do it, set goals, set targets, don't pull through, have challenges, let themselves down. So what I did was I broke down what is the difference from my experience and having worked with other property entrepreneurs and high achievers, what has been the experience of breaking those down. And the 2 from me that I used most recently is Get Up and Give Back. So Get Up and Give Back was our charity fundraiser this year, where we set out to break the world record for the largest single donation ever made to Operation Smile. And the second has been my body transformation, very physically, very mentally challenging, 14 weeks of like real grunt and grind, cutting my body down into sort of single digit body fat, very, very challenging, but it's done, it's all done. My photo shoot's coming tomorrow. So the 3 steps that I use, that I have seen other people use, that other property entrepreneurs use, the 3 steps are as follows. So the first thing when you're setting out to do a challenge, a goal, a target, whatever it is you're setting out to do, the first thing is it needs to be very, very, very well considered. So it needs to be very well considered. You really need to think about it. You need to choose your battles wisely. One of the things we talk about, in fact, I credit Adam Goff for this, one of the things we've talked about recently is that everything comes at a price. So everything has a cost, everything comes at a price, and choose your battles wisely. If you're going to go into a target and a challenge, you're going to make that decision at the beginning, reasonably snaps, I'm going to lose some weight, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to go into this strategy, I'm going to do it, I'm going to raise some fundraising, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. You make that decision in quite a small period of time, but it's like an inverted triangle. You make this decision here, but then there's this huge investment and cost that's required. The reality is most people fail because they make this decision here And then the deeper they get into it, the more they realise they don't want to do it, they're not enjoying it, they hate the experience. The reality is you need to see this triangle and you need to understand what's required to achieve this target before you commit to it. Because if you commit to it not seeing what's below the surface, not understanding what the iceberg is, any sane human being would pack up, they'd give in, they'd sack it off. Choose your battles wisely. When you're choosing your target, choose your battles wisely and think about what it is you want to achieve. Equally, going into it, what I would recommend is when you've sort of identified a challenge and you've thought about it, you've considered what's involved. You know, with Get Up and Give Back, I was like, that's 12 weeks of fundraising to go and raise, you know, in 20, 30, 40 pound increments. We end up raising £75,000 for that charity. There's a lot of work that goes into pulling all that off. If you really consider it, and if you've considered it and you commit to it, what I'd also encourage you to do is allow yourself a run-up. So allow yourself a run-up to get the flywheel going. So it takes a while to get this momentum going. So Get Up and Give Back ran from January to March, but we started talking about it and training for it in the November. So we had November, December as a run-up, and then January, February, March to actually do the challenge, actually take on the target, actually achieve the goal. My body transformation. So my training actually started like last August. So I've been doing this for nearly a year, start to finish, although the challenge has only been the last 14 weeks because it took me nearly 6 months to get the flywheel going, to get the momentum, get the success triggers, get the early successes, start to see some results, have those good weeks, which are really great, and then fall off a cliff on a Friday, have drinks and snacks at the weekend, and then I'm back to square one Monday. Have a run up. So the first step when you're choosing your goals and targets is think about the iceberg, and you're going to make your decision about your target here. And the reason most people fail is they don't actually look at the iceberg. They don't realise what's involved to actually execute. Choose your battles wisely because everything comes at a cost. Make sure you can see what you're going to achieve before you set out to do it. And then the second part of the first step is to give yourself a run-up. So choose your target, understand how long the challenge is going to be. You know, are you starting a new business? Are you going to go and buy 10 houses? Are you going to go into and do your first development? Have a run-up so that you can set yourself up for success. And 3 to 6 months, depending on what your challenge is, 3 to 6 months run-up might actually be required for this to work for you. Get Up and Give Back. We had 2 months and then a 3-month challenge, 2-month run-up. Get the flywheel going, answer the questions, get it going. My fitness, I've had 14 weeks of relentless training and dieting, but I had 6 months before that trying it, getting the ball rolling, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. That's the first step. Choose your battles wisely, see the whole iceberg, and get a run up. Get the flywheel going first. That's the first. The second is once you've committed to this, so once you've said, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go and break a world record for charity, I'm going to do a body transformation, get into single digit body fat and do a photo shoot. Once you've committed and you're like, I've considered it, I've seen the iceberg, I'm going to do this. Once you're absolutely committed, like you need to be a man of your word anyway. You know, you need to start to get the practice of be very sparing with what you say you will and won't do, what you commit to, what you say you'll spend your time on, the things you say you'll do for others. Become a man of your word and be very sparing with the words that you offer. It's the same with setting challenges and targets. Don't say you're going to do something if you're not going to do it. Don't say I'm going to give up smoking and then you have a day off and then lunchtime you're out, you know, I just got to have a fag, I can't give it up. You know, I'm going to start a diet, you come in, I've got a big box of lettuce and the next day you're eating McDonald's. Be very sparing with what you say because you want to be a man of your word. You don't want to be like everybody else who just says they're going to do things and never actually executes because you just look silly. You look silly, it makes you feel like crap, it's not a good place to be. The second thing with setting challenges and targets is to raise the stakes. So once you've decided the target and the challenge, the next thing is to raise the stakes. And raise the stakes as high as you can. Like literally do everything you can to raise the stakes. By raise the stakes, I mean tell people what's going on. So tell people what you're committing to. Publicise it. when I decided we were going to break the world record for Get Up and Give Back for Operation Smile, I booked a meeting with our head of fundraising. We went down, look, this is raising the stakes. We got in a train and a cab and went down to the charity's head office in London and sat there with their head of fundraising and their team and said to them, we are going to set out not only to raise you some money, we are going to break the world record for the most amount of money that's ever been made. There's a big difference between saying over a pint in the pub, I'm going to run a marathon, and actually getting across the line and getting the medal. If you walk down and stand in front of the charity and say, we're going to do this for you, look them in the eye, that is raising the stakes. If you I then stood on the stage at Property Entrepreneur and said, we're in 12 weeks time, we're going to stand here with a cheque, having broke the world record for the highest money, and you're all coming with us. I'll lead it, I'll take responsibility, you guys are all coming with us. Raise the stakes. What can you do to raise the stakes to actually make you commit to it? When I said I was going to do a body transformation, lose this weight, I stood on stage at Property Entrepreneur, told everybody I was doing it. I started posting on Facebook and Instagram that I was going to do it. I told all my friends and all my family, which obviously excused why I wasn't drinking alcohol and was eating out of Tupperware half the time. I said to my friends and family, I'm doing a body transformation, I'm doing a photo shoot. Raise the stake. I booked the photo shoot, £350, £400 photo shoot. I rang up, booked it, put the date in the calendar and paid for it. What can you do to raise the stakes on these things you're going to do? Like, what are you going to do to raise the stakes and actually hold yourself accountable? Because we all need accountability. We're the first ones to let ourselves down. How can you raise the stakes on this? Tell people what you're going to do. Put a date in the diary. Pay a deposit for something so there's no way out. Sign up for a personal trainer. Whatever it is you're going to do, commit to it. Say, right, this is my year. This is my target. This is my challenge. And then raise the stakes. And if you're a man of your word, which you want to be, man, woman of your word, which you want to be, committing to that and putting that out there will gain momentum. It will get traction. It will force you to start thinking about what you're doing. So that's the second thing. Raise the stakes. Put a stake in the ground. Put some money down. Tell everyone what you're doing. Raise your accountability so you really are accountable to others. That's the second thing. And then the third thing, so it's like, right, I said I was going to raise the money for charity, or I thought I wanted to raise the money for charity. I considered what it was about and I did it. I then went and met the charity, told them I was going to raise the money and got the property entrepreneurs on board. And then the third thing was went out and do it. I'm going to tell you that in a second. The body transformation. Looked at the challenge, understood what it was about, got a run up of 6 months to get the flywheel going, committed to it, date in the diary, bang, 1st of August, 14 weeks time, that is my photo shoot. I've paid the money, I've told everyone I'm going to do it, I've stood on the stage at Property Entrepreneur, I've raised the stakes. And then the third thing is success and failure are very predictable, like absolutely predictable. The two things you need to do here is find the blueprint. So success and failure are very predictable, there's no new problems. Whatever you want to achieve, somebody else out there has already done it, and somebody has a blueprint to show you how to do it. The first thing you need to do is find the blueprint. Success and failure are very predictable. Find somebody who's got the blueprint and the blueprint you're actually going to do. And then what we do is we make it visible. We actually break it down into bit by bit targets. So find the blueprint, find somebody, get a mentor, get a coach, get a personal trainer, get somebody who knows what the blueprint is. Success and failure are ridiculously predictable. Get up and give back. We broke the world record for that. The only thing I used was the Property Entrepreneur methodology. At the end of the challenge, when it was all over, I stood on stage and I lifted the veil and I showed all of our property entrepreneurs, here is how I did it. And I showed them the 12 steps of the Property Entrepreneur methodology, and I showed them we did that and then we did that. And then they were like, oh my God, we can see it now, because they know the methodology. And then I applied it to the charity. I lifted the veil and said, here it is in practice. And it got a huge round of applause because everyone was like, oh my God, success and failure are very predictable. All you've got to do is play the game. My training, I've got a nutritionist, personal trainer, training plan, diet plan, macros, my fitness pal, my training, my steps, my Fitbit. Success and failure are very predictable. Get the blueprint. If you're turning up, the worst thing with things is working hard, doing the wrong thing. I've dieted and trained for years, but been working hard doing the wrong thing. So like I would eat a whole packet of smoked salmon and an egg and avocado for breakfast because someone somewhere told me that was a good idea, or I thought that was a good idea. When I started working into this, I was like, oh my God, that's so much fat. Like my diet is so high in fat. No wonder I'm not getting the results I want. You need to find the blueprint for what it is you want to achieve. And I used a nutritionist and personal trainer. And the blueprint is literally a spreadsheet. And it's got your macros. It's like, these are the macros you need to eat. And this is how you track them. Steps, macros on MyFitnessPal. And these are the training exercises you need to do on a spreadsheet like that. And if you get to the end of the week and it's green, your body fat goes down, your muscle mass goes up, your performance increases. If you've coloured them in red, it goes down. Success and failure are very predictable. Profit Entrepreneur methodology is exactly the same. My fitness training is exactly the same. Find the blueprint, get the methodology, and then break it down into step-by-step guidance. I'm going to send you a picture. I'm sure I've got one on my phone. I'm going to send you a picture of how we did this. So on Get Up and Give Back, we broke it down into targets. So we had £75,000 target, and we had the thermometer on Just Giving. And me and the other charity committee looked at that thermometer, posted it, obsessed over it every single day. And then as progress was happening, it starts to go up. With my 14-week body transformation, it's been broken down into 14 weeks. So I did it for 6 months, messed around, getting the flywheel going, getting a taste for it. And then on my mirror at home, and I'm sure I've got a photo of it, I'll post it today if I don't later. How you doing, guys? I'll post it today. I'll post it if I've got one. If not, I'll get one later. I broke down my 14 weeks onto a mirror. So I've got the blueprint. Get yourself a mentor, a trainer, a coach, whoever's got the blueprint, a personal trainer, nutritionist. Get the blueprint and then break it down into individual things. Make it visible. It's on my 28-day challenge board, my Profit Entrepreneur challenge board, which we give you on Profit Entrepreneur, 28-day challenge board. Every single day for the last 14 weeks, I've weighed myself and written it on there. In my bathroom, I have a big mirror and I wrote 14 weeks. So 14 weeks from the day that I committed to the day of my photo shoot on the 1st of August, that's 14 weeks. And every day I wrote my body weight on the board. And every week on a Tuesday when I do my check-in, I wrote how high performance my diet was out of 100%, how high performance my training was out of 100%, how many lists and steps I did out of 100% or however many steps it was, and my body weight that week. And every week I was either seeing it come down or obviously a little bit go up. And every week and it starts to come down, you break this elephant into little chunks. Another tick, another tick, another tick. And 14 weeks when you're setting out seems like an absolute lifetime. But today when I wrote on the mirror and it was week 14, it seems like it's flown. But what's happened every week is I've seen these little incremental changes, these little incremental successes, bits of progress, these little success triggers. And it's all a game, set it up, get the blueprint, set it up, break it down and obsess over it. It's visible, it's on my phone, it's on my desktop of my computer, it's on my mirror, it's on my whiteboard. I've got a whiteboard, another whiteboard in my bathroom with other targets that I've got for this quarter. Break these targets, think about what you want and set the target really clearly. So back to step 1, think about what you want and think about the iceberg below the water. Before you commit to it, success and failure are very predictable. It's all a game. Make sure it's one you actually want to play. Think about the iceberg, and then when you've chosen your target, because you've considered all that, then is the time to move forward. Once you've decided that, go out and shout it from the rooftops, plaster it all over social media, go and put some money down somewhere, commit to it, raise the stakes in whatever way you can. Raise the stakes the most you can. Go out there and put your head on the block. Stand up and say, this is what I'm going to do, and be a person of your word. That will give you the drive and momentum. And then to actually achieve it is you need the blueprint. Find a personal trainer, find a nutritionist. If you're doing business, find a blueprint like Property Entrepreneur. Find a step-by-step guide that tells you exactly what to do and when to do it, and then make it visible. Put it on your mirror, put it on your workboard. On Property Entrepreneur, we have Sunday Sanity, we have top 10 every week, we have our calendars, we have our accountability framework, we have our 28-day challenges, we have our 28-day challenge whiteboards, we have our year of pictures we print on the wall. Make it as visible as you can. Shout it from the rooftop. Have it on your mirror, your whiteboard, and adjust it every day. Check in with it. It's all a game. You get the momentum going. And then once you've done that consistently and you achieve the discipline, you get the flywheel going, you make the progress, without a doubt, those 3 steps will enable you to break world records. They will enable you to smash your targets and your goals. And if you want to go out there and shave your chest and shave your armpits and get a fake tan at 4 o'clock this afternoon to go and get a photo shoot, whatever your targets are, it's all a game, it's all a challenge. Break your year up into 4 quarters and have a challenge for each. Highly recommend it. That's what we do on Property Entrepreneur. And trust me, that will fast track your progress. Most people won't do this. Most people will say, yeah, this year I'm going to make £1 million. This year I'm going to build a business so I can leave my job. This year I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to give up smoking. I'm going to stop drinking. The reality is though, they talk is cheap. They go out, talk, shout, whatever. They're playing at the tip of the iceberg. They've not even seen below the surface. Look below the surface, choose what you want to do, find the blueprint, make it visible, raise the stakes, execute like a beast, be a man of your word, and those things will enable you to achieve your targets. Just trust me. Have a think about it today. Have a think, what challenge have you currently set? And have you looked at the iceberg? Have you broken it down? What challenge might you set yourself for the next quarter or the next year? Those of you that are starting with us in October for Property Entrepreneur, start to think about what is your challenge, your target, your goal. What do you actually want to sign up for in the year ahead? Have a think and drop a comment in the box. I'd be interested to know what comments you've got, what challenges you've got, what tasks and goals you're going to set yourself. But obviously, you're raising the stakes when you post in there. Don't post unless you're absolutely committed, or put the disclaimer in that these are the things you're considering. I'll gladly offer you some one-to-one advice on there. Drop some comments in the box. Let me know what your challenges are. Let me know what your issues with discipline are, productivity, where you're struggling. Let me know where you are on that, and I'll gladly help you wherever I can. I better go. I've got got to go and get a shave before I go and get my fake tan and head off to Watford. So I hope you have a great afternoon. Good to see you online as always. Hope you enjoyed your midday mentoring, and I'll catch you later. Success and failure are very, very predictable. It's all a game, play to win. Why not smash it out of the park? Catch you later, guys.